Hello everyone, this is Sammy from Blue Rain Pieces, and today we are going to be making a bracelet. Just one of these little, I guess they would be like kind of like a paperclip chain bracelet. All I did was add in the little bead for where I cut it at. So this one has just a little jasper bead on it, and it also has a lobster claw on it to connected together. This one has the bicones on there, and I used with rose gold, and I used just a little hook to close that one together. So this is what we're going to be doing today. I like it with the smaller beads. These beads are kind of big for me, but they I guess because I put the 16 gauge wire on there, I guess I could have made it smaller. I don't really like the bigger beads on it. But we're just going to make something similar to that. These are the beads I'm going to be using. I got these beads from Michael's. Just some glass beads, nothing special about them. 16 gauge wire. I'm going to be using my bailers, some chain nose pliers, and some cutters. Not a lot. I try to make little easy bracelets that I think people can make at home. Some 16 gauge wire, like I said before, and I don't know if I want a lobster claw or a spring on there. So let's get started. I'm not going to measure these. People measure them. This is going to be my bracelet. I'm not selling it. So if you want to be precise on it, you can measure it out. They're not going to end up the same anyway, but it's still going to look nice. You can still move it around and frame it and make sure the wire is straight as you go along. But this is going to be my bracelet, so if I was selling it, of course I would measure it out and make sure that it's all symmetry and everything. So this is going to be the bracelet we're going to start today. So let's get started. I'm just going to grab a piece of 16 gauge wire that I already pre-cut, and like I said, I'm not measuring. You can, so it's really up to you. I'm going to be using the third step on my bailers. I am going to flush it a little bit. You don't have to, but... And wear some goggles. My goggles are around here somewhere, because these little pieces are sharp. I do have a pair of goggles that I keep on hand. So let's get started. I'm just going to put it in my pliers like that, and I'm gonna come a little closer on my camera. Like that, and I'm just going to move it around like so. Like that. And then I'm just going to put it on the opposite side, about how big I want my chain to be. And like I said, I'm not going to be perfect on these. Some are going to be smaller, some are going to be bigger. You can be precise if you would like to. It's up to you. Some people like to be precise. Like that. And I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to make a couple. This is another reason why I say it's not going to be precise, because I'm just going to make a couple and then hook them together. It's really not hard at all. Just an easy little bracelet. Like that. These are a little bit bigger than I made the other ones. You can make them smaller. It's really up to you. Some people are, you know, they like everything precise and a perfection. but me, no. Make a couple, and then I'm going to add on the bead. I think I like the smaller beads on there better, but we're going to go with these because it's 16 gauge wire. And I try to get beads that won't move once you put them on there. Some of them still move, but majority of them stay put. And then all I'm going to do is hook on my little chain. Sorry, I gotta open it just a little bit. And again, you're going to be able to go back and make sure your wire is straight. Be a perfectionist if you would like to. It doesn't matter to me, so, because this is mine. And there we are. That's all I'm really doing. And I'm just making enough for the length of my bracelet. Gonna put on. Don't forget to clip it on, because although you can just open it back up, but I've forgotten to clip it on, so. And see how that's out of shape just a little bit? You can come in with your pliers and just adjust it. Just a little bit. Let's get my other beads. I don't even know if I have enough of these small blue ones. I probably have to go back into my box and look. And don't forget to clip it on. Oops. If you want them to be skinnier, of course, use a different level on there. I think I might have to cut this one just a little bit. Just be a little bit more precise with it. Like this one moves just a little bit back and forth, which I don't want. It to move. I'm just trying to adjust it because this one is a little bit wider than I want it to be. There it is. That's what we got so far. Like I said, to see how this one is moving, I don't really want it to move like that. So I'm going to try to open it a little bit to adjust so it won't move. That's what we got so far. that. Don't need much. It's gonna come together really quick. What we have so far, and you can always change the beads to different colors every other one. It's up to you. Let's grab us another piece of our wire. I'm going to straighten it just a little bit. Need a little bit of flush on that. There you go. And we're going to do the opposite side. And again, all we're doing is adding the bead on the inside instead of leaving it plain. You can leave it plain too. And be precise with it. Let's do a couple more. And really we should be done in no time. I made this one smaller because I have one on the end that's going to be smaller. Two I put on both ends are going to be smaller than these, so. I'm going to do one more. And that really should be the gist of it. We only have a few more to make. And I believe we might have enough with just what I have. I'm just going to open this a little bit to get my little bead on. And again, like I said, you can go back through and make sure they are all shaped correctly. And I shouldn't have closed that because I always forget to hook. Like the mind never says, listen, did you hook that on there? It doesn't. Excuse me. So let's hook it on there and close it. Like so. It's not open enough for the bead. That's why I like the little tiny beads I put on the first one. I'm gonna just pull it in so. And we are almost done with our little chain. And I'm gonna go back and move a couple around. So I have two I'm gonna put on the end. They're a little bit smaller than the others. So let's put on, I don't know if I'm gonna need one more or just the two. Might need a couple more. Just putting the bead on and closing it back. Close it up. And the two on the end is going to be just enough. I may not even need those, but they're smaller than the other ones. So I'm just going to open it and put one on each side. I could make them actually smaller because that actually fits my arm pretty well. But I want it to be a little loose, so I'm going to hang it on. Let's put it on this side. And this one's a little bit different of a bead. It's more like a faucet bead. And we're just going to put one on the opposite side. Excuse me. Open it a little bit more. These have a different little shape on them, so it needs to be open a little more. And just bring it right back in shape a little bit. Sorry. I'm going to hook this on, and then I'm going to fix my chain. Hopefully I've been in camera because I haven't looked up. You can see, I'm just going to close it down some and pull it right over that little slit I had there. But this one, I'm just going to go in and adjust some of them because some of them are a little misshapen. And there basically is our little paper bracelet. Let's go this way onto the camera so we can see that better. Basically, that is our little chain bracelet. So all I'm going to do is add on I'm going to do a lobster claw like I did on the other one. I could use a spring, but I'm going to use the lobster claw, the spring on there. Let's use the spring. No, let's use the lobster claw. So all I'm going to do is take a jump ring and open it. I just don't know if that spring will actually, I'm trying to say, fit around the 16 gauge wire. That's why I didn't use it. Just making sure it is all the way closed. Ooh, my beads are everywhere. What happens when you're on camera? Let's just collect them. And I'm not sure that spring will open up enough to go around my, maybe the 18 gauge wire, but not the 16 gauge wire. I don't believe so. I think it's too, the hole is too small. It could. Yeah, it does actually. A little tough to get it on and off, but. So, let's, you could put a jump ring on the opposite side. I don't think I want a jump ring on the opposite side. I'm just going to hook it like so, and that's really going to be our bracelet. I'm going to hang a little drop on it. You don't have to. Maybe a smaller bead. Let's do a smaller bead. I'm just looking for a piece of chain if I want a piece of chain on here. Let's see. You don't have to put a piece of chain on there. I am just adding it to it. I think I'm gonna use a smaller, on this side, a smaller bead maybe. No, we're just gonna go with that one. Just gonna get us a piece of this 22 gauge wire. You can make it thicker if you want, but I'm just gonna use 20 gauge. And it has to go sideways. I'm just going to pinch it together. Looking for my round nose pliers. I'm just going to hold it. You can cut and just have one piece going around. I'm just going to do it so it's both of the pieces going around it. Like so. I'm going to cut it and reshape it. This 22 gauge wire is very, it moves a lot. You can put a different charm on here if you want. I could look for a different charm, which I might, but right now we're going to use this one. Just a little messy wrap on there. You can try to make it straight if you want, but don't have to be. Let's see. I wanted to have the look almost as a bail, so I'm going to separate them two parts. Just fixing them. My little wires on here, like so. I'm going to add on. No chain, just that. A few jump rings. I like to do 2 jump rings, so sorry if I'm out of camera. And I think I'm gonna have to go back in and look for a different clasp because I think the wire color is different. You probably can't see it, but I can. Well, you may be able to see it, but I know it's two different colors. Sorry. And that is our little bracelet. Like I said, I'm going to change this piece. I have to go back in and find the color that matches. I have some. But this is the bracelet for now. Let's do it this way because I'm trying to do it backwards. Just a little easy bracelet. How about this? How about I hitch it first and then put it on there because it's being difficult. And I'm gonna take this one off because this one is actually in the way of it sitting down. And that is our little bracelet. A little paper chain bracelet. Again, I'm going to go back and change out the color because I don't know if you can see, like this one is a different silver than this one, so I need this silver and not this one. So I'll go back and change that out and it should be good. But that is our little paper with a little jewel bracelet. Thanks for watching.